Hi guys. Today should be Wednesday. Hopefully you are doing what you're supposed to with the substitute. Please make sure to continue to do the right thing and be well behaved and be good stewards of our campus. That way we don't have to have a conversation when I get back. Um, Today we are talking about the mean absolute deviation. Please make sure that in your notes here in your table of contents you have mean absolute deviation and add it to page 33. When you get finished writing it in your table of contents, please turn to page 33 in your notes. Write down mean absolute deviation at the top, page 33, and today's date in the upper right-hand corner. Go ahead and pause the video now so students can get this finished. Okay, now that you got that finished, please make sure that you play the video so that you can see the slide, hear the explanation, and then pause the video after each slide so that the students can write it down in their notes. Students, please make sure to listen to the explanation and write down any additional information that you heard me say that you think would be helpful for yourself. Okay? All right, so mean absolute deviation. Over in the side, please make sure that you write down our vocabulary. Mean absolute deviation. The mean is the average. Absolute means distance, and deviation, how far from. So when you put it all together, the mean absolute deviation is just basically the average distance of each data point from the average. Okay, why is this important? Well, the higher the mean average deviation, the more spread out that you know the data is. The more variation or the more just spread out the data is. We know that when data is very close, people have answered things similarly. With a high mean deviation, we know that people were all over the place with their answers. Okay? So it's just another way to describe the information that you get. Okay, step 1. Find the mean or the average of all the data. Yesterday we went over this, but just for a refresher, if 12, 11, 10, 9, 16, and 14 are your data points, you would add them all together, which would give you 72, and then you would divide it by the amount of data that you have. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 numbers, and so you would divide 72 by 6. So your mean or your average is 12. Please pause the video now so students can write down this slide and then write down any additional information that they heard that they would find useful. Okay, step 2. Find the distance or the absolute value between each data point and the average. Okay, so if we said that the average is 12, you would compare 12 to each one of these data points. 12 is 0 away from 12. So you would subtract 12 from 12 and you would get 0. 11 is 1 away from 12. So you would say 11 minus 12 is 1. Okay? And remember, we're looking for absolute value. That's why the lines are here. And that's why it doesn't matter if it's a negative number or a positive number, meaning if 12 is above or below your data, doesn't matter. We're looking for the distance. So basically, how many points would you have to jump on that number line in order to get from 12 to each one of these data points? So the next one is 10. 12 is 2 away from 10. 9 is 3 away from 12. 16 is 4 away from 12. and 14 is 2 away from 12. So all of the distances are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2. Please pause the video now so that students can write down this step. Okay, step 3. You now find the mean or the average of all the distances you just found. Okay, so all of these numbers, now we're going to find the mean of these numbers. So I have 0, plus 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2. When you add them all together, it's 12. And then you divide by 6 because there are 6 points or 6 numbers. 12 divided by 6 is 2. So your mean average deviation is 2. Go ahead and pause the video now so students can write down step 3. Okay, step 4. And the last step is basically now just to state what it means. Each data point is an average of 2 away from the average. Okay, so we know that most of our data is very similar. Okay, go ahead and pause the video now. Okay, so now we're going to do one together for practice. Okay. Here are the data points we're going to be using. 3, 6, 9, and 14. Okay, step 1 says that we need to find the average or the mean of these numbers. Pause the video now and give all students a chance to do that. Okay, now that you found the average or the mean, let's check what you got. Okay, if you add 3 plus 6 plus 9 plus 14, you should get 32. And then I'm going to divide 32 by how many numbers I have altogether. 1, 2, 3, 4. 32 divided by 4 is 8. Okay, so that's step 1. Step 2. How far is each number away from the mean? So right now, pause the video and write down how far away are all of these numbers from our mean, which is 8. Okay, let's check and see how you did on step number 2. 3 is 5 away from 8. 6 is 2 away from 8. 9 is 1 away from 8. And 14 is 6 away from 8. Okay, now we can do step 3. Find the mean with our new numbers. So basically, you're going to find the mean with these numbers right here. Go ahead and pause the video now so students can do that. Okay, hopefully you remembered that to find the mean, you would add them all up and then divide by how many there are. So when I added them all up, it's 14. And then I would divide it by 4 because there's 4 numbers. 14 divided by 4 is 3. And I have 2/4 left. I know I can reduce that to 3.5 or 3.5. It's the same thing as 3.5. Okay, so now we write our sentence. The average data point is 3.5 or 3.4 away from the average. Okay, and that's all there is to finding the absolute mean deviation. The video is now finished, so go ahead and pass out the homework and allow students to go ahead and get started on their homework so that if they have any questions, they can ask either a friend or the substitute. Please make sure that you also are referring back to your notes and using your notes to help you with the step-by-step instructions. Thanks, guys. I hope you have a wonderful day. See you on Monday.